I go on and on, can't understand how I last so long. I must have superpowers, rap 225,000 hours. Get a calculator, do the math. I made 1,000 songs that made you move, yeah. And for the last 300 months, I made 16 albums with me on the front. Blow the whistle. Blow the whistle. Blow the whistle. Blow the whistle.
It's the NBA. Welcome to our Sunday night broadcast here on 2K Sports. We've got Doris Burke from the sideline. By my side, Steve Kerr and Clark Kellogg. Welcome, everyone. This is Kevin Harmon. And State Farm's starting lineups. These are the 10 players starting the game. One of the guys we'll be watching out for today, Zach Randolph.
Kevin, it seems like scoring on the low post is kind of a lost art these days, but this guy can do it. I mean, he can get down on the block, get position, and he's got some skills to get the ball in the basket from that position.
And he's also a guy, Steve, whose confidence is not very easily shaken. That's an
What is up, YouTube? You know who it is. It's your boy, TheFlightMike, and I'm coming at you guys with an NBA 2K13 Association Mode video. So in this episode of my association, you can see the storied rivalry of the New Orleans Hornets and the Charlotte Bobcats is being put into effect today as Eric Gordon misses that three-point jumper. And yeah, there's been a lot of drama in this rivalry, like Emeka Okafor being drafted to the Charlotte Bobcats only to betray them a few years later and go to the New Orleans Hornets. So a lot of drama going into this game. Of course, I'm kidding, because no one really views this as a rivalry. The reason why these two are rivals is because New Orleans used to be in Charlotte, and now Charlotte's in Charlotte. But anyways, today I wanted to get to something that I think is pretty important, and that is next year we're going to have NBA 2K14, and I thought I should make a little bit of a wish list for NBA 2K14. However, instead of making you guys want to kill yourselves with a 30-minute long video, I've decided to first make an association video, an association wish list. Then I'm going to go ahead and make a my player wish list, my career wish list, then a my team, or like ranked matches in general, then a gameplay, and that's about it. Maybe if there's another one, I'll think about it, but that's about it. So anyways, let's get started on this association wish list, which I feel it's like one of the most important wish lists so far. And let me tell you why. Before there was my player or my career or any of that, there was association mode. Association mode was the #1 thing. Like, every game mode had an association. NBA Live had Dynasty mode, and everybody loved playing that. Just in general, association mode was the #1 thing. When my player came out, they really didn't put as much attention towards association mode as they used to. And that's what really bothered me, because the beauty of my player mode or my career mode was the fact that you would have 2 modes to play. So if you really got bored of your my player, go ahead and play association. But unfortunately, they didn't really expand upon association. So let me tell you what I feel like they could do this year. First thing on my wish list is this year they added a great feature in my career mode in which you could meet up with GMs and tell them what's on your mind and pretty much have a GM conversation or sit down. In association mode, I would really like to see the reverse of this. And what I mean is, I would like to be simulating games and out of nowhere have Zach Randolph come into my office and say, yo, I'm in my contract year, it's time we figure something out as to what we should do in terms of my future with this team. Or maybe Zach Randolph could come in and say, I don't feel like I'm a good fit with this team, I want to demand a trade. Or say we're going through the draft process. Wouldn't it be ridiculously cool to have a pre-draft interviewing process with all the upcoming superstars? How do you know that you have the #1 pick and you go and interview Well, it depends if you want to do a pre-draft class or if you want to use 2K's default auto-generated class. But having the #1 pick come to you and say, I don't want to join your team, or I really don't think I could fit in with your team, kind of like Steve Francis did with the Vancouver Grizzlies in 1999. So I think that would be really cool to have a pre-draft process. And then the next idea I have actually came from Madden. And from Madden, they did this great feature where you are pretty much scouting the rookies all year round. So, for example, you will hear that there's this wide receiver that is pretty much a lock to go top 5, and then a few weeks later you'll hear that he tore his ACL and he fell from like a 1st round pick to like the 5th round pick. So I really think it would be really cool if we could have a system where we have to go through, we have to use the auto-generated rookies. Unfortunately, that's one of the things that would suck, but in return, we would be able to be in tune with these players year round. You could hear if there's this player that was originally supposed to go in the 2nd round of the draft or late 1st round, i.e. Kemba Walker a couple of years back, and then he just comes out and completely beasts the competition. He has a better 3-point jumper than everyone thought. He has better playmaking ability than everyone originally thought. Stuff like that. So I think that would be really interesting to incorporate into the association mode in general. The next thing I think that we should add into association mode is have each and every coach have an effect on his team, a direct effect on his team. That means when I go into the coach hiring screen, I really don't want to just see my coach, A+ teaching, A+ offense, B+ potential, or something like that. I really want to see how he fits into my team, if my team could run the offense, because we see teams like the Los Angeles Lakers that have a great amount of talent. However, that talent isn't really being utilized with a coach like Mike D'Antoni, who doesn't believe in throwing the ball into the post. And I feel like whatever you get as a coach, for example, say I'm the Lakers, I hire Mike D'Antoni. Mike D'Antoni doesn't really utilize Pau Gasol. So when Mike D'Antoni doesn't utilize Pau Gasol, I feel like Pau Gasol's overall rating should drop in general. Just like as even right before you sign him. Something that affects the players. Just saying, you know, he doesn't fit in with Pau Gasol or something like that. I feel like every coach should be like that. They should tell you what system they'd like to run, how they, if they're defensive minded, offensive minded, how